Welcome to A Shot of Ag. I'm your host, Rob Sharkey. Farming is a full-time job. I should know I do it, but some farmers, they go way above and beyond, giving their time and leadership, volunteer. Our guest today is a perfect example of that. Heather Hampton-Knodle. How you doing, Heather?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah, you are from Fillmore?
Fillmore is our home address, yes.
For the people in Peoria, where is Fillmore?
Montgomery County, Illinois, so about 2 hours southeast of Peoria.
So you had a drive this morning, didn't you?
I did, but you know, I had a double shot of espresso, so watch out.
Was there anything else in the shot?
There was
Because that helped me.
actually 30 grams of protein, so I felt like I just had a steak with my espresso.
You had one of those, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was it one of those scooters? I like those.
No, actually there's a little coffee shop in Oklamas called Honey Mugs.
Oh.
And this is a specialty drink called the Tara Special.
Oh.
And the namesake was actually in the coffee shop when I walked in, because I normally don't get coffee. I was having that kind of a morning. And so I almost had her sign my cup. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, don't they do that at Starbucks and that? Put your name on there?
Well, no, I mean her name on my cup, because it was named after her. I'm like, I need your autograph.
Honey what?
Well, Honey Mugs is the coffee shop.
Honey Mugs.
Honey Mugs.
That sounds naughty.
No, it's actually inspired by a scripture from Psalms, so I don't think they
Maybe
did
not
it
so
that
much.
way.
Moving on. You are a farmer.
Yes.
You grew up on a farm.
Yes.
So multi-generation. What generation are you?
I am at least sixth, and my husband was seventh, and our sons are eighth from his bloodline.
So who's all farming today?
Myself and my three sons, and then brother-in-law and our nephew helps us seasonally. And my mother-in-law, I still consult with her, as she is one of our landowners. We just finalized a lease yesterday. Yes. So and then my dad's still farming and raising Angus cattle with my brother as well.
Your husband sadly passed away.
He did.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
but it was nice that the farm continued. But this was your family's farm, correct?
Actually, this is his family's farm that my sons and I are now and actually, it's actually the farm that my husband and I have grown, because and then we rent from in-laws, but he started farming basically on his own independently, even as a junior in college.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And then has really grown from there, but had a very good foundation in terms of work ethic and support from his family.
Well, that's nice that the family can all still be around each other, and that,
Yes.
yeah, that's great.
I'm not sure, at 11 o'clock last night, as we were looking at fertilizer prices, didn't feel quite so warm and fuzzy, but we're going to get there.
My salesman has called me like 3 times, and I have yet to call him back. I'm sure the pre-prices are out.
Book now, yes, yes.
Is it as bad as they say?
It's bad.
Oh,
But we're going to keep smiling and talk about positive things today. Yeah.
Went to U of I?
I did, and Nottingham, England for a year.
Oh, tell me about that.
Well, I chose U of I because they had the most international exchange programs of any university in the country at the time, and knew I wanted to study abroad. So my junior year, I was at University of Nottingham, England, and made sure that all of my courses would transfer. So Russian language is like my minor, and
Really?
yeah, and area studies. It's the equivalent of a minor.
Why'd you go with Russian?
I just thought it was interesting. It's a
Were you
good question.
watching like movies in the 80s, and they were always the enemy?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's fascinating. Their culture is fascinating, and it's complicated grammatically, but it's really phonetic. Once you learn the alphabet, boom.
Well, they're always drinking vodka, so I don't think it really matters.
Yeah. Yeah, bijou.
Okay.
Pod Stallone. I'll see you under the table. That's a toast. Yeah.
Well, I always wondered that. I can't speak another language, but like I've heard from people that say, well, you never forget it, and I've heard from people that say, if you don't speak it for a few years, you kind of lose it. What's your thoughts?
I've seen it go both ways. I think there are certain terms that will embed themselves in your mind, like anything. If you have some emotional connection to it. Because I studied Spanish in high school and can remember just enough to maybe read a menu and get to the beach, right?
Yeah.
Donde es la playa? Yeah. La biblioteca, like anybody goes to the library. I don't know. But if you needed a library, I could get you there.
Thing.
Yeah.
What did you want to do when you were going to college? I mean, what was the plan?
Wow. A lot of people said, are you going to be the next Colleen Callahan? Because Colleen had worked with WMBD here in Peoria.
Because you were in
For
journalism.
years. I did end up in journalism.
Okay.
Yeah, so I exempted out of chemistry and I exempted out of foreign languages, and I really think I probably should have studied those too.
Wow, chemistry's stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so foundational though. But all my aptitude tests said communications. Like, okay, fine. So I ended up in, it was agriculture, but journalism. And thought I was going to go into advertising because I wanted to know what made people tick.
Oh,
Had my first advertising class, hated it.
really?
And so,
Wasn't for you?
So I thought, I think I'll become a truth seeker instead. So then journalism it was. News editorial. Yeah.
And that's the truth.
And nothing but the truth. That's right. Just the facts, man.
Well, when you graduated, then what did you do?
I started work with Illinois pork producers, and then within about 2 years, I started my own business. And then that quickly led to association management. So I managed groups like the Upper Mississippi, Illinois, Missouri Rivers Association.
Oh, I gotcha.
I could talk hypocrisy all day long,
Yeah.
but I won't. And Illinois Association of Drainage Districts, the Temporary Wheat Development Board, and so on. Those are some of my clients. And then
Well, how do you, boards are so weird, right? Because sometimes you can get the personalities on there fascinate me. So, but you were an expert in making them all at least go to the same place.
I don't know about expert, but learned a lot as I went. And what I loved about the association piece and having my own shop was I had so much variety. So I could work on policy issues, state and federal, which, by the way, I hated civics and I hated political science as courses.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I did well in civics, but poli-sci in college, I was like, meh. Didn't like it.
But your dad was.
Well, he later became director. After,
was-
I mean, that's when I was out. I had my own
Oh.
business and,
Okay.
yeah. Director of agriculture, that is. But we'd both been active in our own tracts and fields. Pardon the pun.
But it wasn't his example that led you to that, because he really hadn't gone that route yet.
Well, no, he hadn't been in policy
Okay.
but he'd been a volunteer and been on trade missions. I think that's what led to my interest in international things. And he and Mom were stationed in Germany, and
Oh yeah.
that's kind of a little bit of what's in the surprise here.
Can we talk about it? Because here's what happens, folks. Emily, my wife, says, hey, bring something on the desk and we'll talk about it. You bring this in and I go to grab it and you're like, no, it's a surprise. So I don't know
think
what's
you're
in
afraid.
here.
It's not one of those little pinochle snake things that pops out. That's not it.
Is it alive?
No. But the bag itself is that, you asked boards are hard,
Yeah.
and how do you pull people together? And one of the funnest boards, so I also helped found a Public-Private Economic Development Corporation, a county-wide effort,
Okay.
and we did a lot of things. And then later, people asked me to run for county board that had not been on my agenda at all. They did. I ended up being elected, yay, thank you, Montgomery County, and
Was
served.
that a good thing?
Overall, yes, because I had my checklist of these
Yeah.
are things I'd like to get done. I'm not going to be a lifer, and we got it done.
No,
And-
you're supposed to be on there for 30, 40 years.
No, I didn't get that memo, or I didn't. I chose not to read it. But starting an entrepreneurship program was one of my goals.
Okay. For
And
the
so-
county.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so it's still going today. And I've been off the board now for almost 10 years. But this brown bag, do you
Yes.
want to hear about the brown bag?
I would love to hear about this sack.
It's the brown bag.
Okay.
All right, so the short version, Creating Entrepreneurial Opportunities, or CEO, started in Effingham County about 3 years before we were starting ours,
Okay.
roughly, or researching it. And one of the stories behind it was there was a high school student at Effingham, either St. Anthony or the public school, who saw his mom cleaning out her basement. And he said, what are you going to do with all that stuff? She goes, you mean this crap? What am I going to do with this crap? And he said, yeah. He goes, I don't know. I'm probably going to sell it, give it away. He goes, huh. So he went on the internet that night. He put bag of crap, $10, brown bag. By the next night, he had 1,200 orders.
Really?
People didn't know what they were going to get in the bag. $10. That boy, that young man, before he graduated high school, had a Range Rover,
Oh.
a second car, and a huge warehouse and had started an online business.
Oh, I bet he had all the honeys too.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean. But there are a lot of locally grown honeys in Central Illinois. But anyway, so this bag of crap became his thing. And that was one of the entrepreneurship stories of, you know, thinking differently, capitalizing on opportunities. And I think that's what we're trying to do with young people today is, you know, use what's here and make something of it. And now do you want to see what's inside?
What's in the damn bag?
Oh, let's look. Okay. So growing up, I actually put on my first resume, head of duct tape and baling wire division for Hampton Farms.
That's funny.
For real.
Yeah.
Because whenever you're there and you're the only one who's got to take care of these cattle,
Yeah.
it's up to you, right?
Yeah.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And
It's in the damn bag.
I know
It's
what's
in the
in
bag.
it. I got to show you. It is a bottle of Shinola.
Oh, there's a joke I can't say.
Well, so that was my grandpa, Hampton.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, but it's the reason I
Oh,
put
I
it
don't
on
want
this
it,
little
no.
Japanese tray is because the bottom's kind of
Oh,
broken.
we don't want to do that.
But we can.
Yeah.
So what Shinola is like a boot black, and this is long since evaporated.
Yeah.
But
That's old then.
It is.
Yeah.
This is probably from, I'd say, the 40s or 50s even. No, well, 50s or 60s maybe. My dad paid for his way through college showing sheep,
Yeah.
Southdown sheep, and raising them.
Yeah.
Got his first 2 as a 4-H project. But the phrase I grew up hearing was, they don't know a 4-letter word,
Yeah.
starts with an S, ends with a T, from Shinola. And the deal was, you know, how do you figure out what's real and what's not, what's truth and what's fiction? And so you don't just fall for anything anybody says, but you got to ask questions, got to figure it out, got to have some life's experiences. Mm-hmm. So I thought that's pretty significant.
That's probably why you didn't do well in advertising.
Exactly.
Did you ever think about that?
Yeah, I
it
think you're
probably
right.
it was too foreign.
It was, well, it was like, I want to know what makes people tick, but I don't want to manipulate them.
Honestly, I thought when you said he was showing the sheep that he was using that to, you know how they dress the animals up a little bit.
Heard stories, but never done it myself.
Were you ever a livestock shower?
Yes, showed Angus cattle and some crossbred steers.
So there's like a break, right? There was like, I think like the generation I was, and then somewhere, maybe in the 90s, they started wearing like bling on their bottoms and that. So which generation were you?
I was probably just prior to that. I would wear boots in the show ring, Justin Roper's.
Yeah.
That was the boot.
No bling.
Not really bling.
Okay.
No, plain jeans, but maybe a shirt that would look a little more dressed.
You know what I'm talking, like
yeah,
the
no
bedazzled.
rhinestones, no
Yeah.
bedazzled, no.
Okay.
Nope. I was lucky to get my hair brushed, you know what I mean?
Did you enjoy it, showing livestock?
I did, and I kind of wish that our children, the largest animal one of our children showed was a goat, right?
Okay.
But I think there's something to be learned from being yanked around by a 1,200-pound animal and stepped on that teaches you can bounce back.
And you can't react when you get stepped
Right,
on.
you got to
Yeah.
keep your cool and keep moving forward.
You got to keep one eye on the steer, one
One eye
eye
on the
on your
judge.
dad, and one eye on the judge. I
was
never
gonna say definitely the
understood
judge.
how that worked. Dad. I was like, what?
I guess I didn't really keep an eye on my dad at that point.
Oh, mine was quite hard on that rule.
Was he? Yeah.
Okay, we talked about you doing a lot of stuff you don't have to. A lot of volunteerism, you know, the county board.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the Governor's Affair Council.
Oh, Rural Affairs
Governor's
Council.
Rural Affair Council.
Well, I think that started, I'd been active in our county to try to get better broadband, better internet
Yeah.
connectivity long before it was cool.
Yeah.
And that led me to a lot of different meetings. And at the time, Lieutenant Governor Pat Quinn had been a true leader trying to say, what can we do as a state to help bridge that digital divide they talk about between rural and urban areas. And that led me into meetings and in that conversation, and I ended up, actually I think I was first appointed, I would have been Governor Blagojevich, but working with Lieutenant Governor Pat Quinn as a citizen member. and then have since been appointed by, Governor Quinn, Governor Rauner, who I was on his ag transition team before he became governor, and co-chaired that, I guess. And then Governor Pritzker kind of renewed.
And I thought when the new governor comes in, you clean house, right?
Usually they do, but apparently in rural,
yeah,
maybe they're just too few of us. I don't know.
I mean, do you meet Pritzker in like a job interview type of thing, or did you just get a call and say, hey, guess what, you can't quit?
Right. No. He's the one governor I've not met, but I have met with Lieutenant Governor Stratton. So typically the Lieutenant Governor chairs that council.
Okay.
And so that's who you're working with. So like Evelyn Sanguinetti, Sheila Simon, all excellent people, hard workers, good thinkers, want to do the right thing. And that's the thing.
Because honestly, as a farmer, I'm like, and nobody cares about rural in Illinois politics.
Well,
but you're saying they do? Well,
they do, but what's challenging is sometimes you get that, there's a partisan messaging, or they come in with their own agenda and try to make it their own. And it's been more challenging for me the last year and a half, just given what we've been dealing with as a family, to really engage. And I need to complete training. So there's the irony. I'm an appointee to this council. We have no budget that we're overseeing. Like, we're not spending any money. We aren't hiring any employees directly, but yet I have to complete harassment training, DEI training, fiscal, like ethics, LGBTQ training, and one more, HIPAA. I'm thinking, we're doing nothing with healthcare. Why do I have to do HIPAA? I don't know, but it's all part of the requirements.
Have I done anything wrong in this interview?
I don't know. You haven't made me feel uncomfortable, Rob. I don't know the honey reference. I could maybe find something, but
haven't made you feel uncomfortable yet. Yeah. You brought a bag and made me look at it for half the interview. Yeah. So what do you do at the Governor's Rural Affairs Council? I mean, what is the goal of it?
Their quarterly meeting, it was formed in the late 80s, I think, in large response to the farm crisis at that time. So the overall mission is to bring together the state's agencies, core agencies, and get some focus in terms of what existing programs do they have and how can that impact rural, or what can we do better. And then if there need to be some legislative changes to that, what can we do? Now, it's ebbed and flowed, though. I think initially the Rural Affairs Council, like in that late 80s, early 90s, had even more activity to advise on things that ended up establishing, like the Illinois Agriculture Education Council and Leadership Council for Ag Education, which I was vice chair of that in the 90s, trying to get more agriculture education and professional teachers and science in schools. Whereas now, really, it's been frustrating to me, because I think one of the rural issues that we have is succession of small businesses. And oftentimes there may be somebody out there, again, going back to CEO, and how can we match people who are entrepreneurial in their thinking or have the work ethic, and how can we give them some management skills so that we could ultimately match make them as we have people exiting a business, because a business can still be profitable. They just need people who can manage. And that's where we have a dearth. It does, but there's kind of this dearth of leadership in general in the world.
That word.
Dearth, I know. Yeah, it's
very earthy.
Yeah, it gets to the, like, oh, I felt that.
Well, a lot of the stuff that you've been doing, 90s, the early 2000s, it says here that you are a woman.
I am.
Okay.
I have 4 children that I birthed.
If someone landed on this planet today and they looked at agriculture, they'd be like, okay, a lot more men than women, but there's plenty of women.
At least in developed countries, correct.
Yes.
In less developed countries, in developing countries, it's primarily women who are the small farmers.
That's because it's the way it should be, because we don't want to work that much. My point is, you were in agriculture and in leadership roles in agriculture and farming and agriculture when you weren't just a minority, you were a vast minority.
Yes.
So do you feel like ag has changed as far as looking at chicks?
Tremendously, yes. It's gone outside the poultry barn, yes. So I remember there was a Council for Food and Ag Research, and what's interesting is, as a student at U of I was involved in the early conversations before the legislation even passed to found it. And then as a young adult, I ended up being involved in the working groups and in strategic research initiatives and on internal advisory reviews with universities to allocate research funding, and I was literally the only woman in the room. And I ended up being...
Like out of how many?
Out of, say, 20, 25 people.
Okay,
In those
intimidating,
subgroup
isn't it?
meetings. In the subgroup meeting. Now, in the larger meetings, there were some exemplary women leaders. You know, Sue Adams, Knox County.
She's a fantastic woman.
She is.
Yeah.
And you know, so well informed, and you know, geared toward doing the right thing. And so it's not that they weren't there, but what you had was quality, right? But I ended up chairing a working group on expanding ag markets. And not only was I the youngest person in the room, I was the only woman in the room. And one time my child care fell through. We were meeting in Springfield, and that was probably 20 people around a U-shaped table. And I had to bring 2 of my sons. And they're back there playing with farm equipment. And then I had the one who was like toddler age distribute handouts to everybody. You know?
Slave labor.
He was great. No, he was great though. My children have been to more meetings than most adults.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah.
They've been there from day one.
I went to we were speaking, and I was by myself, and it was like a women's group, and I walk into the room, and someone was presenting, but there was like 50 women in there, and they all turned around and looked at me. I was the only guy in the room. I'm like, oh, this must
be how you feel.
like.
No, it's like, you know, those saloon video, you know, in a film, you know, and somebody walks in the saloon, everything stops. You know,
But
the piano music stops.
intimidating, right? You were the only woman in a very dude-based.
It can't. There were some moments like that, but I think growing up in 4-H and FFA, I always felt like I always knew somebody in the room, or if you didn't know them, you felt like you're going to get to know them.
Yeah.
You're going to find something in common. So I never really focused on that as a difference. I viewed our mission as our commonality, and that seems to work out.
Well, it says a lot about you that you can, I don't know, I found it intimidating, yeah. Now, are you still the president of the American Agri-Women?
No, I'm the immediate past president until November of 25, so I'm almost at the end of my term there. And it's been a good run.
Yeah? No impeachments, nothing like that?
Thank goodness. Not on my watch.
So what do you feel like agriculture today? Because obviously you take a lot of time off your farm to try to make not just farming, but the world a better place. If a young person comes up to you and says, hey, you know, I want to help, I want to do what you've done, what advice do you give them?
It's interesting because a young engineer asked me that fairly recently. And
nobody ever asked my advice.
Well,
yeah.
Maybe you're just not old enough yet. You look too young.
It's the beard dye.
And they're like, oh, she has age. She must know something. But I guess my advice to him was, I don't want this to be construed as follow your passion, because that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, you keep doing the right thing, and you show up, and you try to think about, I'm trying to remember how I said it to him, but it was like, don't only think about your own advantage and what's in it for me, but how can I help them?
I don't get that. I just want to help myself. But that's truly what a person like yourself, that's what sets you apart. We've interviewed people like yourself on here, and it's always that same thing. You can always tell when someone is on it just so I can say, hey, I'm on this board, or hey, I'm the president. And then someone like yourself that like, hey, I'm doing this to actually try to make things better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah. But I sense that in him too. And I'm like, you know, you keep chipping away at it, and then realize, like I tell the CEO students, or not students, team, a network is so you can build each other up. I mean, basically, you're going to be given rope in your life, and you choose what you're going to do with that. If you choose to think you're only going to use it to pull yourself up, make a ladder, and climb over the next guy, you're going to end up probably hanging yourself with that same rope.
Yeah.
However, if you choose to make a net, then you realize that that is there to help you bounce back and help other people as well.
It's a lot of knots in a net, though.
There are a lot of knots, but that also binds you in relationship.
Oh, look at you. You can pull that all together. See, that's why you're so good. Here I am just trying to screw with you, and you're like, oh, here's another life lesson, Rob.
Zing. Yeah. I prayed before I came on, and I was like, just please let me do something right.
Usually,
And if I gave you that, that's good.
Please have Rob not be a complete jerk to me.
No.
Do you enjoy the agriculture community?
Yes, overall I do. I do. But you know, it's very competitive.
Yeah.
At the local level, and you know, in Illinois, more than 65% of the acres are rented, and so that implies competition for that. And what's interesting though is like we've been in meetings in the last week with agronomists trying to say, like I'm telling my sons, we have to feed the plants. You have to have a crop.
Yeah.
So don't think you can just cut out
Fertilizer,
an entire nutrient, right? And even a few agronomists are like, well, you know, on your rented acres, you could cut back. And I'm like, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Because we've been blessed with the fact that we've been able to rent from people for 20 and 30 years. And they're like family. So we're not going to short them, you know. We've got to do the right thing because we want to come back the next year and we want everybody to succeed.
Yeah,
and
keeping
so
their
you
ground.
figure a way. We got to make it work.
Like you're keeping your own is the reason that
Exactly.
you've kept it.
Exactly.
Heather, I've had a chance to talk to you a few different times. We haven't talked about you winning the award at the Illinois Ag Leadership. Was it the Torch Award?
Yeah, the Torch of Leadership. That was really
Yeah.
an honor. I mean, that's humbling.
But yes, I want to acknowledge that as well.
Thank you.
You impress me as someone that is truly wanting to help not just ag, but the community around you.
Absolutely.
And not just for self-serving goals. And it's a rarity. It's because I mean you can do both. You can serve the community and also, hey, look at me. But you just seem like you're the type of person that agriculture and rural communities and the world needs.
Thank
so
you.
I want to thank you for that. Heather, thanks for coming. Everybody else, we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to explore more of our local content. You can connect with us on our social media platforms, visit our website, or download and watch the free PBS app. We can't wait to see you next time on A Shot of Ag.